rights, you should be bludgeoned.
Has anybody seen Get Back?
That's me. I'm stopping. I saw that coming, and I still let it happen anyways. Yeah. What? Has anybody seen what?
Get Back. Oh, the
Beatles thing.
No, I do want to see that.
No.
I just haven't got a chance to yet.
I like how we go from staring blankly at the screen, waiting for it to go live, to Michael singing.
I know.
We've come a long way, lads.
Come a long way, baby.
I was only joking when I said by rights you should be bludgeoned in your bed.
Are we gonna get a copy strike? I mean, we could get a copy strike for this singing.
No, as long as it's less than 8 seconds.
Okay.
That's
I never do anything longer than 8 seconds, so we're good.
that's something use. I can't remember. Oh, come on. I have to go back to my broadcasting.
Fair use.
Fair use.
Yeah.
Fair use.
Can't catch me use.
And plus, it's the Smiths. So.
Oh yeah, you can sing the Smiths all day. I mean, Morrissey may have turned into what Morrissey turned into, but I still like that crooner's voice.
Oh yeah. Oh, I cried and cried and I died.
I'm gonna leave the singing to you, Michael.
Well, I'm in trouble because Michael's got the singing voice. You're Kiefer Sutherland. I guess I'm holding the luggage. I guess I'm the pack guy.
Sun Shaper.
You're the guy that keeps us all straight.
Although I do love the fact it was interesting though. Shenanigans Unplugged. I did watch it, and I don't think that you're allowed to use. You used Mockran's saying, "cheese and crackers." Whenever you would roll that, I'm like, wait, you know what? I think that's copyrighted by Mockran.
That's copyrighted.
Is it
I
really?
think your character on Shenanigans Unplugged is allowed to say that.
That's a Brook Bullock special on
That is.
being able to cuss. As a teacher, you can't say Jeepers Creepers, so or other things. So, the classic 1980s son of a biscuit. So those type of things.
I keep waiting for an opportunity, and it's going to happen, and this is going to spoil it for anybody who watches this later on YouTube or watches it tonight. There's going to be a moment in Red Dirt where Zonnimus goes, steam and whistles, and just totally just... And I keep imagining it's going to be like Back to the Future, where Marty says, "Great Scott," and Doc says, "That's heavy." Yeah. Like you're going to walk up behind me with a flask and go, "Son of a bitch."
No planning.
We're not planning.
We know what happens with plan. No
plans.
Planning bad.
One person,
but that would be awesome.
Kind of works okay.
The one person plan has worked out great lately.
Yeah, but you can't go past one person, and there's too many cogs to fall apart.
Oh yeah,
Johnny, that picture is in my head now. I will remember it. When Zonnimus comes up behind him and goes, steam whistles, Walker's going to go, son of a bitch.
And it's probably going to be something Poppy did that makes us react that
way. Are we live?
We are live.
We are live.
Michael, you got a shout out from Hal22 already. Woo!
Oh my goodness. I just pop out my chat here. Hold on a second.
There you go.
It's way over there.
And hello to that one USS guy, Nightmare is here. Yeehaw!
USA.
Ginger, should I be offended?
No, it's a compliment, Ginger Halfling. Poppy's great, but it will be something Poppy does that triggers it. Hey, Nightmare, yes, that's heavy. That's a great line. Nightmare doesn't like the one person playing because he wants a spoiler.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So Nightmare, we were talking about Shenanigans Unplugged, and I really enjoyed it. I've been I watched it basically all day today. I watched that, and I watched the G4 Dungeons and Dragons. Have you guys seen this yet?
Oh, no.
G4 Dungeons and Dragons? No.
No, I know G4's trying to make a comeback.
It is the first actual play on television, and you can actually watch it through YouTube because I don't have cable. So I was watching it on. It's interesting. It is. It's interesting. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's interesting.
Can you tell it's like professionally done by G4? Is it like when Geek and Sundry was doing Critical Role stuff?
No. It looks good. The set is really great. It's. Have you ever listened to an actual play podcast where it's obvious they're trying too hard?
Yes.
That's the feeling I
Brook.
get throughout the entire thing. Is they're trying to. It's like our entire careers are based off of this thing. If we don't make this thing the most awesome thing ever, then it's all going to fold. But it's because they're trying to make it. This is the best thing. We have to. There's desperation.
They're trying to plan.
Well, no.
Did you watch Stuffed Fables?
No.
That was the one where they were players sitting at a table, but they would have puppeteers go through and act out what their characters were doing with puppets.
Yes, I did. Yes.
And in the moments they were at the table, I don't know if that show was scripted or what it was, but yeah, it was like it was production. It wasn't the individual's talent. It seemed like some bad acting, if that makes sense. Like they were trying too hard. You could tell, and it came across.
I think there's people that go, if we don't do it now, then we've lost for all time. And it stinks a little bit of desperation. It's got some funny moments, but what I enjoy about Critical Role is they've done this from the beginning. We are just a whole bunch of people sitting around playing the game.
Yeah.
And we're having fun because we're just sitting around playing a game, and because of that, it's taken off to become the biggest thing ever, as far as Dungeons and Dragons is concerned. But these guys on G4, they're like they've based and not only the actors but the G4 has put everything it has into this, and it's okay. I just again, if they were trying to be more relaxed and have fun with it, I think they could do, but it's disappointing. I think it's disappointing. Now I've only watched 3 episodes, so maybe it gets better.
Have you heard of the Lodos War, the anime Lodos?
Oh yeah, Record of Lodos War.
Yeah. I watched the first episode of that this week.
Yeah. It's tops.
Fantastic D&D cartoon.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
I've not heard of. Where is that?
If you just Google Lodos, Lodoss, and then you have to throw in the anime. It's like a teenager. It's not really adult, but it's like a teenager version of the D&D cartoon. Only you're not transported in time and all this. It's really, the first episode's really good. I laughed out loud at the dwarf a couple of times. And
where's it located? Is it on YouTube? What is it?
I watched the first episode on YouTube. I think Funimation.
Funimation.
I watched it.
Okay.
It's an app worth getting if you like anime. Or anime.
I'm trying to work my way through Hero Academia right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice.
But
that's okay.
That's pretty much my whole thing. I'm watching a commercial right now.
Woo. We have a first-time chat person in the
First-time
stream.
chat.
Woohoo! Mad blogger with blogs at midnight. How close?
Yeah, everybody just hit a commercial break right now. I was getting messages on my phone.
I think the first time chat was from Zero Ping Freen.
Them two first-time chat folks. Yeah. Good to see you guys.
Nice.
Cthulhu.
Anyway, coming back from our commercial break, and that's how you make money.
Let us know when you're back from our commercial.
And we're back. Wait, are we back yet? And we're back. And we're still back. We never left. We're still here. We will always be here for you.
What was your commercial product, and will you buy it? We're doing market research. Tell us in the chat.
Midnight Blogger, the gods of. I lost it because Hal's dropping.
Oh my God. Hal's dropping fat loot.
Yeah, the Mad Blogger, the Cthulhu Fatard, that's from Call of Cthulhu.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
So that wasn't like a keyboard
Cthulhu.
misstep on the second half of that.
I was reading that, and then I got on to reading something else. I have that problem. I get about halfway through something and I start reading something else.
Makes me wish Kinder Cthulhu was here.
Cthulhu, and I really enjoyed it. I was exciting, but then
Woo!
Go find another place. What? It was a mud rocking ass. Stacy. Aww. Poor Kiri.
Kiri, you got to work on your
algorithms, man.
Algorithms.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever you're clicking on out there. Mud rocking.
Did you and Ash ever get the TikTok algorithms figured out?
No.
Any other homework?
Oh my God.
I did load up one of the first audiograms from Red Dirt D&D into.
Sweet, that's a great idea.
So I'm just going to keep loading them in until.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. You know, Michael, you mentioned, just briefly, because we've got a lot to move on to, but you mentioned Tuesday night on your show with Ash that TikTok is basically Vine. I will say, though, I liked Vine a lot because every video was unique and different. It wasn't every video was trying to do the exact same thing that every other video was doing. Yeah. So there's a lot of creativity on Vine, a lot more than the TikToks.
I think there's.
I thought you were gonna.
You have to dig for it. That's the problem with TikTok. Is you have to go find it.
I thought, based off the Stacey Abrams comment with Ginger Halfling, you were gonna bug Michael about the fact that evidently TikTok shows him cleavage. So.
Oh, every time I turn it on.
Yeah, I think that algorithm's working just fine, Michael Cross.
That's when I go, look, I am married and I do not need to see that.
Michael Cross of NPR Radio and your cleavage, your bouncy cleavage algorithm on TikTok.
Not that. I don't need to see that.
Brooke, give us a 5-minute topic.
A 5-minute topic?
Too late. Michael, give us a 5-minute topic.
Darn. Did you see Critical Role? Have you been watching Critical Role? The show on Prime.
It is great, and I am also appalled at the language.
So I think this whole language conversation.
I got to keep my earbuds in the entire time. No one else in my family can watch this. I
think this whole language conversation that was going on my comments. Everybody's commenting about it. I think it's. I don't know. I don't want to get into this and ask how everyone was raised, but I was basically raised by my grandparents, and my little old grandma. Every other word was the F-bomb, and it fit with whatever she was saying, but not like violently or angrily. It was just like that was great effing steak, or I mean, just it was. So when I hear it, I'm like, I don't even notice it unless it's obvious they're trying.
Is your family from Jersey? Like where?
No.
I think I said it best with Ginger Halfling on Facebook, that my only problem with the cussing is that it can be used, and it can be used to be funny. It can be used to stress what you're trying to say. They don't use it in any of those ways, and if you cuss too much, it weakens the moments that you really need to boost up for that purpose. And a lot of times when I hear Critical Role do it, either on the show or on Twitch or on YouTube or on the Vox Machina show, it feels like they're doing it like you did when you were in junior high. Because, you get to do that little skit. Oh, we're going to do a humorous duet. You would eventually have to cut out the F word, but for that little while you're practicing, you go, hee, I said F, hee. I said the
I think Marisha does that. When Taliesin does it, I don't even notice it. When Liam does it, it just works.
It feels like they're doing it because they're children.
Travis, for sure, I feel that way a lot.
And they're not children. They are adults who should not think that it's funny to say things like boob and butt.
Michael. Language. So someone in chat, this is how someone in chat was mentioned that the nudity. I completely forgot there was nudity in it until the person mentioned it. That's how warped I am, I guess. I don't know. It's like, oh right,
so
Scanlan,
and none of them I can say now.
No, you have to say
it's plausible deniability. You can say it.
That's
okay.
When has anyone seen the Robin Hood movie with Kevin Costner.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, hated it. Awful.
The Painted
awful.
Man.
It was already awful until that moment when they shoot him over the wall, and they cut in on Christian Slater, and he says, "F me, he made it."
That didn't fit. Yeah, that's.
He said the word, and I went, "Why would you?" Well, first off, that word didn't exist back then.
So we've got Ginger Halfling in the chat, and we've got Brook here. What the etymology of for unlawful carnal knowledge?
Yeah.
F-U-C-K.
That's a rumor. That's still not necessarily.
Well, I believe it because it was on the internet. Yeah, it was questioning
I've got a bitcoins I want to sell you then.
It was like, would that word have been a word then, or that was the big throw off.
Have you heard the one about them cutting off fingers so you couldn't draw a bow?
No, but I heard that the jackets in the war, not back in the day, but they had the buttons on it, but they wouldn't unbutton, were there to keep you from wiping your nose on your sleeve.
That is true, and that was because of Napoleon.
Nah.
Really?
Napoleon did that. He designed buttons on sleeves so that his troops wouldn't wipe their nose on their sleeve. That is true.
The more you know.
Yes. But I think the word it just got created. I don't think it was any kind of acronym or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
I would love to have been there.
Anyway.
Dun, da, da.
Brooke, give me a 3-minute topic.
3-minute topic. I think a good 3-minute topic is, does time really exist 3 minutes? I mean,
Is time a man-made concept? It can't be controlled. It's not tangible.
Time is not a man-made concept. The measurement of time is a man-made construct. 3 minutes is a man-made construct. 3 minutes will go by whether or not it exists. If man did not exist, 3 minutes would still go by. No one would call it that.
Is time, in fact, more wibbly or more wobbly?
Neither. I love Doctor Who, but
it's definitely. I'm in the whiny category for sure.
It's more whimy.
Yes. Wibbly, wobbly,
tiny, whiny
category for sure. Yeah.
It dings when there's stuff.
If you were to travel in any direction besides forward in time, then you would actually slip into a separate dimension because everything would be changed.
If you lined up every person on the planet shoulder to shoulder, and on the count of 3 told them to take one hard step forward, would you change the spin of the Earth?
I don't know. But if everybody jumped to the left,
and then a step
to the right,
where do they put their hands?
Would we do the time
would that be a time warp?
That would be you just see. Look at that. Full circle. You have that comedy gold. Yeah. We don't have time to talk about time because we have a top 3 to get to, and I have my list prepared. It's a good list. It's a great list.
I have my list prepared as well.
It's the best list.
Top 3.
Are we going to roll off to see who goes last?
Germs, you are just in time for the top 3. You missed nothing. We just babbled for it.
Germs is here.
Woohoo! The mad blogger, which blogs at midnight, reached way back about time. We bulls wobble, but we don't fall down.
Oh my gosh, I need to die, don't I? Bloody hell.
Yeah. Gonna roll off.
I need to die, bloody hell, says Michael. Spoiler, he's done that once.
Die.
Woo!
Okay. Highest number. Would you roll?
Above 50% this time.
Are you rolling percentile die against our D20s?
Oh,
no, I'm just saying last. On my D20.
All right.
I'm going last.
I got 18.
There you go.
What'd you get?
15.
All right, I will go last again.
Oh, does that mean we go first? I go first?
Well, because going last is the honor of being the last.
The honor.
So,
you close off the list.
But I wanted to be first because that way I don't have to risk you guys stealing my stuff.
Well.
What is our top 3 topic?
Well, let's hear it then. What's your number? So by the way, fantasy films.
Fantasy thing.
That's our top 3 tonight. It's not. It's kind of D&D related.
Now we've done a couple of things on this one. We have taken the Lord of the Rings trilogy off the list.
Yeah.
Because it's everybody.
We all would have said Lord of the Rings, and that would have just been
And then is that one movie or three?
No,
or six? So, yeah.
Well, like the Hobbits. I wouldn't even put the Hobbit on.
We don't talk about the Hobbit.
We don't talk about the Hobbit.
The Horn of Gondor, the drinking Horn of Gondor says we don't talk about the Hobbits.
The rules are Fellowship of the Rings. No, Fellowship of the Rings is or Lord of the Rings is not on because it's just amazing. And if you want to hear why it was amazing and what they need to do to make the next D&D movie and series the best, based off of that, go check out A&M Talk DNN from Tuesday night. I talked about it. How to make the next D&D movie or series perfect. Check it out. Find that on there. Twitch, YouTube, etc. So, my number one. Oh, and also,
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And we also decided no space fantasy. Because Star Wars is technically a fantasy. So, no space fantasy, only what we would consider true fantasy.
Did anybody go with TV series?
No, I went movies.
No.
Okay, I'll stick with just movies then. Okay, movies. We'll do series another episode, but
yeah.
All right.
My number one, dun dun dun, Princess Bride.
Oh, very nice.
Let's start with my number three.
Your number three? Is that your number three?
Actually, my number one, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Woohoo! We had a spoiler, boys and girls.
So my number three, we'll go number three. Sorry. Okay. So my number three. I realized that. Number three, Wizards.
Oh, the old animated.
Oh, like the cartoon?
Wizards.
Wow.
Banshees and Wizards.
Wow, very nice.
It does actually take place in the future, but I mean, there's fairies and wizards, obviously.
Yeah.
Fritz, they killed Fritz. Stupid yellow fairies. Yeah, that's my dad took me to that when I was like 7 years old. There's like nudity and cussing in that thing, and my dad took me when I was like 7 years old. But, yeah. So
it was it was the Critical Role show.
So my number three is Wizard.
All right, Brook.
In the chat, Germs has said Kroll had better to be in someone's list. It was on my list, but didn't make my top three.
Yeah, Germs, it's actually in my honorable mention.
Yep, for
it
sure.
Is in my honorable mention.
My number three is Excalibur.
Oh, nice.
That's my number three. I actually got to do a paper over Excalibur in college. My professor, film studies professor, I got to write a paper over that. So I have seen that movie like so many times.
My son and I recently watched that about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It's great. Really love it. It's got some nudity, got some violence in it. The trick with Merlin and time is kind of neat. It's not a perfect movie, but that is my number three. So we've got Wizards, we have Excalibur, Johnny.
My number three is starting off kind of basic, but I think it deserves a spot on this list. It sort of reminds me a little bit of the D&D original animated series. It's the story about some kids who magically step through and end up somewhere else to find out they're destined for greater things. And that would be the Chronicles of Narnia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I first experienced that, I was like, this is like the D&D cartoon. They stepped into a different world. Mm-hmm. They got powers. I also had to put it on here because it's very similar to one of the main plots of the TV show Magicians, if anybody watched that.
Yes, it is.
You guys watched Magicians.
It feels from that, Harry Potter. There's a whole bunch of things.
We need to have that conversation.
It's so wonderful.
So, yeah.
It's Narnia for grown-ups.
Original
I didn't know you guys had seen it.
Or
original what?
Original Narnia or the newer Narnias?
Is there an original?
What's original?
There's a cartoon. Isn't there a cartoon Narnia?
No. Is there?
Okay.
You're talking about the movie that came out about 20 years ago.
Thank you, Germs.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
Magicians is fabulous.
I guess I honestly know two people who've seen it. I guess I should have mentioned it before around you guys.
I love Magicians.
Magicians is good.
the end of season 5, and then I kind of tuned out because they killed off my favorite character.
Spoilers.
It is one of those in which I think the TV show is better than the book.
So you read the books.
I have.
We need to talk about Alice. Not now, spoilers, but sometime you and I need to have an Alice conversation. Okay.
Yep, 100%.
Number 2, Michael Cross.
Always a bad idea.
Brook Bullet stole my number 2. So I'm kind of on my own. It was Excalibur, number 2. So I took a new
Nicely
number 2.
done.
That's why I have a list here.
You could say Crawl.
You just make the fans happy.
Germs would like you if you said Crawl.
Here's why. Because when you hear my number 2, you'll understand why I came. I love Kroll. I think it's wonderful. But my number 2, Dark Crystal.
Oh, nice.
Germs Kroll.
Are you a Gelfling?
By the way, I did actually get to see the Riff Tracks version of Kroll, the Riff Tracks live version of Kroll, and it was flipping hilarious.
That's fantastic.
That's got to be
good.
awesome.
It is so good. Anyway, so number 2, Brook.
Woohoo! Germs in the chat says no Conan so far. That's true. And Midnight Blogger says Lady Hawk would be his number 3.
I got Lady Hawk on the list too.
Yeah.
One of the best.
My number 2 is Highlander. Highlander is my number 2 of favorite movies. Could just quote from that all day long. And the soundtrack by
Queen. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Who Wants to Live Forever?
Who Wants to Live Forever? It's a Kind of Magic. Don't Lose Your Head. Fried chicken.
And without a doubt, the best villain.
Oh, the Kurgan.
The Kurgan is phenomenal. But see, here's my only problem with Highlander. I want them to remake the Highlander with an actual Scotsman as the Highlander.
Instead of having a Scotsman play the Scottish peacock, or the Spanish peacock.
They had a Frenchman play the Scotsman. They had a Scotsman playing an Egyptian Spaniard.
Yeah.
I don't know who thought this was a good idea.
It's a very interesting
The
accent,
80s.
Mr. Cross. Where are you from?
And then the ending was kind of a dud. The gift that he got at the ending of it was kind of. Is it okay to spoil it?
What?
They've had time. You can spoil this.
I have a feeling that everybody in our chat has probably seen this movie, except for Kiri.
I can tell what everybody's feeling. I can tell what everyone is thinking. I'm like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, don't even mention the sequels.
Can you imagine if the Kurgan had gotten that? He'd be like, why would I need this?
Oh, he'd have been pissed.
Okay, everybody's going to die.
He should have faded away instead of burning out.
Then to burn out, fade away.
I will say, the first 10 minutes of Highlander 2 is phenomenal. And then, what the heck?
The Highlander movie was great. It had a great idea. It was wonderful. They did it all wrong. The only thing that is wonderful about Highlander is the Kurgan.
And Clancy Brown played the Kurgan, right?
Yeah.
He was in the latest season of Dexter, and I was just like, wow.
And everything. Every now and then I'll turn around and it's like Clancy Brown's in something. It's like so cool. But no, I mean, yes, I will see the movie over and over again. I love it. But yes. I would love to see a remake with better special effects, with, I think, a little bit reworked storyline. I would like to see more than just the Highlander story. There were so many other characters that I would have loved to have seen more.
You want to see more of the love story, don't you?
I do not want to see more love story. I want to see more fighting. I want to see more fighting.
I want swords fighting.
Heads.
Have you seen any of the television show?
I watched a little bit in the 90s.
It was so good.
Much. Kimberly, my wife, absolutely adores it. And someday we've actually talked about rewatching that. Right now we're watching Babylon 5, so it'll be a while. But anyway, Highlander, yes, so it is a good number 2.
Man, this place is rocking. Noda Jones, Germs, Hal, Midnight Blogger, Dunick. Man, you guys are awesome. One USA guy. It's awesome stuff.
Okay, Johnny.
What are we on?
Number 2.
We're on. That was my number 2. Oh, Johnny. It's Johnny's turn. I lost count.
Number 2. I feel like I might be stealing from somebody's number 1. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But my number 2 is on here again because it's a big epic vision prophecy type thing, and it is Willow.
We just watched that the other
Nicely.
night. Yes.
Yep.
Willow.
Offgood. It's
Nicely done.
he's just a simple man, happened upon a huge quest of destiny, and in fact, my little tiny Yorkie's name is Ellie, named after Eldora Danon. It's short for
You know what? And
Elora Danon.
after
Cool.
watching
So,
it,
yep.
and going back and listening to the old episodes of Red Dirt D&D, there's a lot of Mad Mardigan and Zonimus.
Oh, what? Too bad it wasn't Kiefer Sutherland. It was Val Kilmer.
Is that right? But yes, we watched that just the other night. Yes, you're right. It's really good. I really.
Wow, there is a lot of Mad Mardigan in my character, isn't there?
There is a
I
lot
just
of
put
Mad
that together.
Mardigan.
I guess it had a strong influence on me. I watched it a lot when I was younger. Yeah.
There's a series coming out.
Yeah? Is it still coming?
The series on they cast it, and there's actually on YouTube where they're interviewing the new cast. Warwick Davis is actually interviewing the cast.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Cool.
So yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. That's good. That's a good choice. So my number one was spoiled by myself.
Roll the one
And
on read notes.
It's my favorite movie of all time, Princess Bride. Best fantasy film of all time, Princess Bride. But since I'd spoiled it, I thought I'd bring out my honorable mentions.
Kroll.
Yes.
My honorable mentions. Never Ending Story.
Oh.
Okay.
The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Nice.
Okay.
That with Richard Mole, 1983,
Yeah.
84, something like that. Kroll. Germs.
You-
Kroll.
There you go, Germs.
Kroll. Lady Hawk.
Nice.
I had Lady Hawk on my list.
If anybody has seen this, I'm going to love you forever. Hawk the Slayer. Has anyone seen it? Have you seen
I
it?
know of Hawk
It's
the
like
Slayer.
you and Brook are getting married.
Hawk the Slayer.
I know Hawk the Slayer.
Walker's
Yeah.
seen it.
But I've never seen it, but I know it.
You have to see this movie. It is phenomenal. It is truly D&D.
That's awesome.
The special effects aren't that great because it's 1979 or something like that, but it's got Jack Palance in it.
Oh.
Imagine everything Jack Palance has ever done. Now put him in armor.
Oh, okay.
And he's fantastic. So Hawk the Slayer. If anybody has not seen it, find it, watch it. It is so great. It is
Very good.
D&D. It really truly D&D.
That is outstanding.
Conan. And finally, Last Unicorn.
Oh, very
Huh.
nice.
Huh.
So those. I just made a list, and then I just kind of picked three out of there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Hawk, you said Hawk was awesome. You got to see it. Hawk the Slayer. Everybody, we need to have a watch party for Hawk the Slayer. That's why I figure, the Dungeons and Dragons movies, if they're worse than Hawk the Slayer, it's such a great movie. That and Porky's. Last Unicorn taught me about sex. That and Porky's.
Fantastic.
Lassie.
That's awesome. I hope not of Porky's, but other than Porky's, I hope Kiri Ginger Appling is keeping a list because man, this is
That's right.
listen to your elders. This is awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Wow.
number one for you, Brooke Bullock.
on my honorable mentions, I have Jason and the Argonauts, but it's just really for Ray Harryhausen. That's the reason.
Yes.
That's the reason.
Oh my gosh.
That's the reason why it made the list. But then we talk about favorite movie to watch. Not really. Also on my list was Dragon Slayer from like
Yes.
1981.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then we've heard a bunch of my other honorable mentions. So, The Neverending Story,
Yeah.
Evil Dead,
There we go.
The Dark Crystal, and Conan the Barbarian. These were all of the ones that I was trying to figure out what is my number one. But
Yeah.
but I think You have to go, and even though I considered, switching some things around here on the fly, I'm going to be honest and true to myself. My number one also is The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to watch a comedy? Princess Bride. You want to watch adventure? Princess Bride. You want to watch everything romance? Princess Bride. It's the answer.
Yeah, and again, it's a real where you could imagine it being a history story, being told to you right there. And
Yeah.
It's got wizards, Miracle Max.
I mean, it's just so many lines you can quote. It's just so great.
How many times have we actually been playing D&D and said we're just mostly dead?
We're just mostly dead, which means partially alive. Have fun storming the castle.
Yep. I've even dropped in a few ROUSs. I don't think they exist.
Yes, and the book. And yes, the book and the story are both amazing. They're slightly different, of course, but as Ginger Halfling mentioned, the book is great.
Yeah. All right. Johnny.
JB!
Does anybody want a peanut? Sorry, it's Princess Bride from Princess Bride. We had to go full circle.
Oh.
So, if you thought Michael's list was impressive, stick around. Some of my honorable mentions was definitely Conan. Yeah, it's a great movie. The way it's aged. It's a great movie once in a while.
Yes.
But all the Conan movies, including Red Sonja, very very good stuff. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, yep.
Honorable
I
mention.
hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And here's one you probably haven't thought about, Michael. I will see your last unicorn and raise you a pair of unicorns. Tom Cruise,
Oh my gosh.
Tim Curry, Legend. My
Yes,
number one fantasy film that I knew.
Yes.
I knew someone would forget about it. The Lord of Darkness, Tim Curry, Legend.
Nicely
Oh,
done.
Yep.
Thank you. He's in drag or in horns, he is awesome. Yes.
Yep. That's my unicorn movie.
Legend. I had totally forgotten about it. And I just watched it, I think about last summer. My wife and she had never seen it. And
Really?
You got to sit down.
How awesome if you've never seen it and you're getting to see it you're getting to show it to someone.
And it was Brian Eno. Was that who did the music? Or
So there is you can get on DVD. I think I have a copy of it. DVDs are these discs that you would put into these boxes on your TV. God, we used to make that joke about VHS tapes. But there's a DVD that has there's like a musical heavy version of Legend. That has a lot more music and songs in it, and some of the little boy sings, and the fairy has a song, and
oh my god,
yeah.
I would have loved that. I already loved Legend. I was that, yes, without a doubt.
Michael, I would have lost money because I was almost certain one of the things on your list was going to be
Ferngully, Thumbelina, Ginger Halfling.
Beastmaster. That's the one. Beastmaster.
Mark Singer in one of his greatest roles besides V.
Yes.
V. Yes.
V.
Sorry. We're geeking out.
Totally. We are grognards to the core.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
Chat so much. You guys are awesome. This is great, man.
Which V also had the guy Robert
England,
who played
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
You said Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. I did say
He played Freddy. That guy
Mercury
too.
was Queen.
Queen Killer.
Who's in Highlander?
We're back.
It's 6 degrees of grognards. Go ahead. Tie these movies together. We can do it. Anyway. Pan's Labyrinth is also fantastic.
Yes,
Midnight Vlogger. That's
I
awesome.
did enjoy Pan's Labyrinth. Although that almost be considered a modern fantasy. Because
That's
it
true.
should take place in the modern era. Of course, so does Highlander.
Oh, I guess there's also Masters of the Universe, even though it was current day Earth.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I mean, you could count it. It's got a barbarian with a sword and Skeletor.
Oh, Mad Blogger! Anytime a hot chick becomes a lizard and eats a cat, I just felt. Was it a cat? It was a mouse. Oh, she did eat a cat at one point, didn't she? I just remember the first time they did
No.
it, and then they all showed how they did that because it was such amazing special effect at the time.
Remember the hot tub with the electric eels
In V?
in V?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think Diana was like soaking in a hot tub, and somebody walks over with a pitcher and pours water in it, and like electric eels like slide out of the pitcher into the hot tub with her. And
You would think
maybe I was watching something else.
Are you sure you weren't watching like maybe an off-brand version of V?
Was that the X version of V?
Yeah, no, it was spelled VVV. No, I really remember that. Maybe it's when they did V the series.
I think you are right.
Because they did the miniseries and they did like a TV show that lasted a season back in that time period.
But that was during the time while I was watching Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
So anything that came on that was of that ilk, I was all over it. That Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
I think we've had about 5 people in the chat mention the phrase "my sexual awakening." So, like, the movies we were listing, like
which Beastmaster? When I saw Tanya Roberts run out there,
not gonna lie,
yeah, that was.
Hey, plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability. Oh,
wow.
That was a fantastic list, guys. That was incredible.
Yeah. I'm almost inspired by the chat to pick next week's theme already, but maybe not. We'll do sci-fi movies next. See what you guys are really into.
Plausible deniability.
There's a whole world of fantasy TV shows.
There are fantasy TV shows.
That was awesome. It was so big at
get
first.
in trouble though, because if we like to mention Game of Thrones, you get like people are like.
I think Game of Thrones have to just be the honorable mention at the beginning.
Yeah. So I love Game of Thrones.
We'll get around to it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail, without a doubt. I did not even thought about it because my problem, and nothing with Holy Grail, but I immediately go fantasy. I don't think of humor necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And it was whimsical.
It was yes. I mean, humor. Yes, you need humor in the story, but that was supposed to be funny. But yeah.
I mean, a lot of people's D&D games go Monty Python.
That's true.
There's the meme, how it starts, how it ends, so.
Don't say it, you said it. Someone said knee.
Knee.
I said it.
No, you said it again.
I said it again. I went to a friend's house recently.
No, wait, blue. Woo!
Yeah, right.
The Apes is we consider space fantasy.
Yes.
Yes. And that's the other thing is we could actually choose a space. Your top 3 space fantasy.
So we're going there next week.
Could do space fantasy.
All right, okay. Next week we'll do.
But then we have to take Star Wars off the list.
Oh yeah, it just comes off the list right at the beginning.
Yep.
Like Lord of the Rings did for this tonight. Yeah.
Yep.
I got a few that I could make a list. I have a list also on that one.
Lists are good.
Okay, guys, what do you guys think in the chat? Should we do space fantasy for our top 3 next week or next episode?
Yes.
Every other week. So next episode, should we do space fantasy, or what would you guys choose as your top 3? What do you guys want? We usually rack our brains trying to figure this out, and you guys are here right now. What do you want?
What do you want to hear us be?
Talk about.
What do you want to hear us be experts about?
What do we think experts?
We're based on a D&D podcast, and we don't talk D&D, so what do you want us to talk about?
The only reason you can call me an expert is because I haven't died yet. That's the only thing I'm an expert on. I'm still alive and I remember stuff.
You're doing a great job, Michael.
Well, we don't really for sure because of the camera angle, and that's okay. You don't have to, but pants in the morning, your smile on your face. You're doing great, man.
Yes. I can always get to work at 3 o'clock in the morning when I get there.
Woo! I'm gonna take notes.
We got D&D spell as a suggestion.
There
you go.
All right. So can we go third party or stay Wizards of the Coast? And do we just stay 5th edition?
I think you'd have to stay with the
let's say 5e, any 5e book, but 5e Wizards of the Coast.
D&D spell. I mean, Wish.
Okay, honorable mention is Wish at the beginning, and then
honorable mention is Wish.
Yes.
Okay, so you can't mention Wish.
Now, favorite spell that you've actually used?
Best 5e best spells for each level.
Germs is going to keep us on here for 2 hours if we do that.
Germs just want to keep us going.
Woo! That's awesome.
Favorite non-D&D games?
Oh, these are great. You guys are going to set us up for all of March. That's fantastic. Woo!
Best sexual awakening.
Best sexual awakening movie.
You did
Barbarella.
Jane Fonda. I know.
Wow. Name dropping.
It might have been. Surely not. It had. I had to have had an awakening before Quest for Fire. Surely, but
I'm not sure.
I gotta check dates. When did Quest for Fire come out?
I'm uncomfortable. Any adult.
Ginger Halfling, you put Lion King 2?
What?
They're still on the same subject.
I mean, it is Curie. Are we still talking about the same thing?
Who also said, "Tag, put me in, coach," and I'm really confused about context now. I have no idea where this is going.
Ginger Halfling can do spells. That is, I do have some favorite spells. I don't know if I know them all because I sadly I don't play spellcasters as much as I should. So you can tell. I lost the paladin and immediately the barbarian. I mean, I'm not. So spellcasters.
You just like grunting and hitting things.
Yes, I just want to hit things as often as possible.
I don't want a stupid book.
and right now on Secrets of Monster Island, I'm playing a monk. I hit things and I cast darkness. That's the only thing I cast.
Which I am really enjoying your monk on Secrets of Monster
Monk is
Island.
insane.
Like, this guy's gonna be fun. I really, really like it.
It was so funny because when we recorded Wednesday night, I was so out of it that I immediately jumped into Gaz's voice, and I don't know why. So when we get to episode like 13, if you wonder why I'm all of a sudden doing Gaz, yeah, I totally lost my voice. So I had to think, okay, what is this guy's voice? Oh yeah, so.
I'm so excited because in 3 days I get to see you guys by just glancing over at the table. Like I am so excited about getting to see you guys.
It'll be the first time we recorded in person. I heard you say on Tuesday night, Michael, this is the first time we recorded in person this year.
It is.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize that. Wow.
I was like, that can't be right. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it is.
New Year's Day, but snow. We were going to do it on 2 weeks later, but then COVID.
Yeah.
So this will be our first time to be in person, and I'm very, very excited about it. Because Gaz is not, he doesn't work. He does not work unless...
You need the energy of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to have Poppy there to actually scare with my loud, booming voice. I want to see her jump.
I don't want to spoil anything, so don't say anything, but I'm just imagining what the last session we recorded over Zoom. Sounds great. What would that have been like if we had that much emotion and drive in a room? Because those were some pretty emotional episodes.
They are, yes.
Yeah, there's just,
especially when Poppy dies.
I was really excited. Yeah, I was really excited about the music I got to put in there.
And when Zonimus rolls a 1 on his healing check, that was just like...
And then Poppy just falls over dead from lightning bolt or something. I'm kidding. When Poppy doesn't die.
When Mokrin rolled the 1 and his hammer flew back and hit her, I didn't know that's how Ash was going to play that.
Blame the DM. There you go, Brook.
That is exactly why I do not have critical fumbles in my game. I think it's stupid.
They're in Pathfinder too.
I don't like critical fumbles because they're goofy.
There you go. In the chat and with you guys, have your home groups come back together and played in person?
We tried it back on my Saturday group. We tried to do it, and then we got another surge and went back to online. And I think it's the game. Right now I am campaigning through. Well, I am DMing through the campaign, and so for right now, I think we're going to stay online for the foreseeable future.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, my Tuesday night group, it'll be a while before we go back to the table because the threat of COVID is very real for one of the members and his family that he would take it home to and stuff. But we're doing a bang up job on Fantasy Grounds, but we just went to Foundry, which is a lot better, way more intuitive. Fantasy Grounds is good, but Foundry is way more intuitive. And then the Thursday nights that we're not doing this, I'm playing a game online. I got a lot of games online. I have some Saturday games I could go to if I wanted, but digging the online thing a little bit.
Yeah, Roll20. I've gotten so used to now. All my stuff's on it, so I don't want to go to something else because all the work that I've done building maps and stuff for this campaign is all on Roll20. So yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want to go to another system right now. What about you, Brook? Are you playing? You're playing in person at school, aren't you?
Yeah. So our faculty group. It's been so crazy that our faculty group hasn't met since like November or whatever.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so that's been just like really tough. The kids club is meeting, and that's awesome for all of them. I have one group that we about every 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's a first edition that we're playing with some old school friends, and
Wow.
that has been meeting as time allows. Although recently things get in the way. My own group, not yet. I think we're close to getting back together in person, and when it happens, it's hard to schedule everybody. But when it happens, God, I'd love for it to be like a 15-hour marathon, sleep on the couch, wake up in the morning type of thing. But that may be asking for too much all at once. But I think it's close for our group getting back. I hope soon. So
Yeah.
Very cool.
About 3 weeks ago, they're getting close to the end of Isle of Dread in my Saturday group, and I was like, you know what? It was about 3 weeks ago. I was like, what I would love to have is a weekend where we're in person and we all come over to one person, like we did when we were kids. Go over to one person's house and spend the entire weekend playing Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, that way we could actually get through this thing instead of doing it 4-hour increments every week.
yeah.
I just remember doing that as a kid. You go over to a friend's house and you'd start Friday night right after school, and you D&D all the way until Sunday.
Yep. That's same.
Yep. That's my longest that I've ever been awake was during a D&D session.
Yeah.
So
And I've heard that those things still go on. So someday maybe we'll have to try that. Now, Tokencon, which we are going to be doing March 18th through 20th, they do play D&D there. And
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of D&D games there. And so
That's
maybe we'll do a break off and we'll do a Pathfinder game, Johnny.
For sure. Hey, you've been to Tokencon before, I guess. This is our third one?
Since the very beginning.
Okay.
Since the very beginning.
How big is it? Comparatively to like SoonerCon?
It's
maybe?
smaller.
Yeah.
It's a gaming convention. It's just board game convention.
That's what I thought it was mostly board games, but there's some RPGs.
And RPGs, yes,
Yeah.
it is. And also it's a great opportunity to see some new game creators. It's not as big as, not anywhere near SoonerCon.
No, really? Okay.
But it is so much fun. I really, really highly recommend going to Tokencon. Plus, on Sunday, we do know this, we don't know the exact same time yet, but we do know now that Sunday there will be a Q&A with your Red Dirt D&D cast. Woo! On Sunday of Tokencon. So everybody, come on out. There's going to be a Q&A with your cast.
in March, right?
Yes.
March 20th.
18th through 20th.
It's a week before my birthday.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. By the way, my birthday was Monday.
Happy birthday,
Da-da-da.
Michael Cross.
Again, getting older, not dying. That's it. That's the important part.
You're doing a great job.
Hey, that's my life. That's my life's goal.
Right.
Just don't die. Who wants to live forever?
Oh my gosh.
Now we're going to get sued by Queen.
Highlander, there we go. Such a good scene too. Man, it's just great. So
Also, the way they use that song, Brook, in the TV series.
yeah. Oh,
You said you watched the TV series?
Oh,
And Dust in the Wind.
that's it. That's exactly.
Oh,
the moment
man.
I'm
That
thinking of.
was...
It may have been the first time that I ever
Thanks, Matt
cried at a television show.
How weird that show ended up being so romantic in that...
But still hack and slash.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like there are people who say that the movie 8 Seconds is the guy chick flick. I think Highlander was the guy's like romance bed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Oh, that's people in the chat. You got to know about that. Yeah, they do. They know about that moment. Oh, yeah.
Of course, that's how I feel about Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China.
For godly.
I did not give Big Trouble in Little China because that is actually a modern.
It is modern day, but it's perfect. It's got. We had this conversation 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
That's what started this.
It has a beholder. So
it has a beholder. It's got magic and spells. It's got the Pork Chop Express.
It may have been the inspiration for my Oriental Adventures campaign. I mean, it really was. Like, you get those guys in the alleyway and just like
that is a fantastic movie.
It's a great movie.
One of the best out there. So, but I don't know how we got on that. But that was romantic.
Yeah, because we went from romance to beholders, and yeah.
Oh my gosh, there was so Brain, right? Love, beholders. There was an April Fool's edition of Dragon magazine. Who knows it? Do you know it, Johnny?
Yeah. I know you're going.
And it's got this chubby, overweight, paladin-esque looking guy kneeling down with a bouquet of roses, and of course, in front of him is a beholder, and the headline on the magazine, over in the side says, "Beauty is in the eye, never mind."
Yes. Well, my favorite April Fool's Dragon magazine was when they had the half spells. Did you ever see this?
No.
They had half-level spells. The only ones I can remember are Disappear 1/2, which is the material component is a good pair of tennis shoes, and the magic words "feet don't fail me now."
Wow.
Or Purify Food 1/2. All you need is a bottle of ketchup and some pepper. I'll have to find this for you. I did find it at one point for my Friday night group.
It'd be so fun to just run a game based on all the wacky stuff they put in those old magazines.
I love Dragon Magazine. They need to bring Dragon Magazine back. That's all.
In Polyhedron magazine, they used to have like an April Fool's adventure, and one of them was Fluffy Goes to Heck, and I ran some friends through it, and it was hilarious. It was, and it may have been a series. Fluffy may have been involved in more than one thing. So.
Wow.
But it may have been like Jim Holloway who wrote it, perhaps. Like, it was absolutely hilarious. So.
We did not mention any Roger Corman movies. Snarf Quest. What is...
Kinder Thulu just got
Snarf
here.
Quest from the back of Dragon Magazine, you bet.
Oh, I was thinking Snarf from... What was that? Thundercats.
Oh, Snarf from Thundercats. God, Thundercats.
Thundercats. Oh.
Brook, Kinder Thulu showed up.
Woo!
Kinder Thulu.
In the house.
Snarf Quest was my sexual.
Yeah. That was waiting for it. I was just like, they're going to see it. Snarf Quest.
Oh
boy, this is a fun chat night.
Guys, I needed these endorphins so much. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Secrets of Monster Island, check it out. Also, your show with Shenanigans Unplugged, Brook.
Yeah, that was.
I want to check out Shenanigans Unplugged.
That was tons of fun. We had a chance to get together. I at the time didn't realize that it was going to be anything that was going to be like public or whatever. Which is cool. And then when I realized, oh my gosh, like this is a real deal, I better up my game.
Did you put a shirt on?
I did.
Okay.
Is that when the power went out?
And yes, it was the snow.
Right.
Snow and everything.
And we had last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. We had that happen.
Nightmares are your DM and does a fabulous job.
It was
Aiden. Blaze Aiden's in that, and
I was really jealous.
And of course Ash is also in that.
Nightmare extended the invitation, but I was already signed up for Pathfinder Society that night since it snowed and everything. And
Thursday night, I was like, had to be up early in the morning on Friday. It's like 7 o'clock. I'm like, I
need to watch it.
But you watch it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we went long, and so if you had needed to get up in the morning, you would have had like 2 hours of sleep that night. So,
Oh yeah.
I just want to know how are Brooks' dice rolls?
Oh, they were horrid again. What did you get? A 2 and a 3 on your first 2 rolls or something like that? D&D Beyond hates me.
They were even the electronic dice roller was just like, no, we know who you are. You can't change the character name.
Well, didn't you figure out that
password in? You know we're gonna give you bad rolls.
Didn't you figure out it's not your dice, it's your dice tray?
That may be true with my real dice. We're going to test that when we're back live together on Saturday, because the dice tray, which I love, got it from my local gaming store. I am getting rid of that, dude. We're going to try and just...
You need a dice roll. You need a dice tower.
I need a dice tower.
Do you know where to get one?
Is there a good place I could get one? Does anyone know?
There is. You could get one from Laser Cuts.
Pro Laser Cuts.
Laser Cuts. Oh,
Laser
is that the one with laser?
Pro Laser Cuts.
Now, Brooke, if we show up in person, when we show up in person Saturday, 3 short days away. You said 4. 4 days away is great, but 3 days away... No, tomorrow. From now to tomorrow is a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Saturday, 2 days away.
2 days away!
So-
hours will be...
When we show up in person, if your die rolls are bad, and you get rid of the dice tray, and you roll them on the table and they're better,
Yes.
don't forget, I have a way of punishing things for rolling bad. We can take that dice tray, am I right, Nightmare? We can take that dice tray to rethink his life choices.
There you go.
For those of you new to the chat, this is a die that rolled terrible for me at the Extra Life charity event. It would not roll above 10 for anyone at the table, no matter how many times you rolled it. So...
And didn't you, throw it across the table or across the room one time?
The DM threw it back
No.
on the table, and it still landed below a 10.
Well, no, Nightmare was tossed it to the DM, not rolling it, tossed it, and it hit the table and bounced, slipped. It hit 11. So when it wasn't intended to be rolled, it hit over 10 by 1 point. Yeah.
But as far as the dice tower goes, Brooke, you can get Pro Laser Cuts dice towers at Game HQ on Southwestern.
Cool.
That's where this bad boy came from.
Yeah. So so you have one day. You have tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You could get out when you're out of work. Just run down. It's not that far. You think it's far away, but it's
No,
really
it's-
not.
I will meet you at Game HQ, Brooke.
Yeah.
Then we would never go home.
I know.
That. We would just...
We would just bombard someone's table, be like, "Hey, it's Friday night. Have you heard of us?" And jump in.
It's Friday night.
It's Friday.
Ash
Doesn't have the
would
Thursday
kill
night
us
ring.
because you and I would roll in Saturday having not been to bed yet, and we would just be like, let's play some more D&D.
We would be hungover from not drinking, but playing D&D all night. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Gaming hangovers? Do you guys, not from any alcohol,
Yeah.
just from the sugar rush of Little Debbie's? Is that
Well, it's what we used to call punch drunk. It's when you haven't drunk anything, but you are just the endorphins are so high from gaming the entire time, and yeah.
Well, Michael, you'll know this. It's like coming off stage.
Yes, it is.
It's especially in certain episodes that took place in the 60s range of episodes when things die or what have or major things change or
Yes.
And there was when I did Benvolio for Shakespeare in the Park, and you have
That's
that
cool.
final speech at the end of Act
Yes.
the end of Act 3, Scene 1, and Benvolio has a huge moment. But then I don't have any other lines. I don't have to show back up. That's when we would actually have the dead man's happy hour in the back side of the stage. But before that would happen, I would collapse even on stage because you're here, and you have to be. You have to be here. And so when you're done, you're just. And so if you're doing D&D correctly, that's the kind of energy you bring to it, and that's the kind of energy I bring. Gaz brings to it. So.
Oh, that's for sure.
Shakespeare does that to you, though. I was Benedict in Much Ado About Nothing, and I remember when it was over and those lights went down, I just collapsed to the floor. It was like, because it was just Shakespeare's long and it's so wordy and you just go.
Yeah, but you've got to have passion. You've got to be able to speak.
Yes.
You've got to be able to. It's got to be understandable.
Yeah.
To everybody. So
you have to know what you're saying, and you have to
playing Hamlet right there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Shakespeare did that, because the actors were just like, just kill me already.
He
wanted them to suffer for his art.
And of course, I told you that I did when I was. This is actually from I Hate Hamlet when I played played John in I Hate Hamlet. But I didn't when I was actually in Hamlet. I didn't play Hamlet. I played the one character that didn't die in Hamlet because I didn't get my death scene until Red Dirt D&D. I only got a death scene.
Spoilers.
But it didn't happen until Red Dirt. Yeah. If anyone hadn't caught up.
Shakespeare is best, Mad Blogger says, in the original Klingon.
It is. Yes.
Yeah, Kinder Thulu's got a point. At the end of a 3-day, 4-day convention, you're mush. Like when you go to Gen Con, take that Monday off too.
Yeah, I experienced that. We went out to oh my gosh, Comic Book Expo. So
yeah, same with Ren fairs. I mean, at the end of a 3-day weekend with a Ren fair.
Yeah. If you do a Ren fair, the weekend Ren fair, wow.
Yep.
And I've done that a couple of times. And
I'm in the big ones. And have you been in the big ones in Texas or Colorado, Michael?
Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Has anyone been to Kansas City?
Muskogee's not. I know you're not talking about Muskogee, but we also did a weekend. I did a weekend one in Colorado, and I did the weekend one in Muskogee, and that itself was just amazing.
Kind of like Scarby, or TRF, the Texas Renaissance Fair, where it takes 2 days just to walk around and put eyes on everything. Not to mention sitting and enjoying the shows and.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Scarborough Fair, but I've heard so many great things.
Red Dirt Road Trip.
There you go.
Woohoo! I've been to the Kansas City Renaissance Fair. It was great.
I've heard that.
The biggest one I've been to. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really, and also, of course, I went with a group of friends, and that was awesome. So yeah.
There was supposed to be a Renaissance Festival that was reopening in Oklahoma City, but it just kind of it fizzled out. I don't know what happened to it. I think COVID. I think a lot of things were planned about 2 years ago, and as with the Okie Geek podcast, I had my ear to the ground on all the things that were kind of starting, and it just everything kind of fizzled because of COVID. So hopefully, once it gets taken care of, we can get that back. So,
Michael Cross,
that'd be awesome.
The chat's mad at you.
What are they mad at me?
I'm covering for you, man.
And yes, blogger, break out your Stein.
I told you, I haven't died yet. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. Birthdays. Woohoo!
I'm never going to die.
You'll live forever. In the words of Troy LaValle, you're fine. You'll live forever.
You're fine. You'll live forever. Just don't lose your head. Don't lose.
Okay. Where's the end button?
Greatest movie soundtrack ever with lyrics.
Wait, which one?
Highlander. Yeah.
Hold on.
With lyrics. Greatest movie soundtrack ever.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that's true.
Because there is Pretty in Pink.
There is The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
There is 16 Candles. There is Moulin Rouge.
John Hughes movie.
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
But that's a musical, not a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Of a musical. Well, if we're going to do that, Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Or The Matrix. Yeah, but that does have some lyrics in it, too.
It does. There's some, Linkin Park does some good stuff.
Cthulhu, a Highlander reboot is a necessity.
Yeah.
It needs to happen. And the fact that there have been so many reboots and no one has touched the Highlander, I don't understand why.
It's been talked about a lot. They're also talking about bringing back Stargate. And having like one of the original actors be on to run the Stargate Command.
Michael Straczynski says Babylon 5 is in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, not a reboot, but just a return. Babylon 5. So.
Yep. Kinder singing Phantom to me. Yes. Yeah. Les Miserables. Les Miserables. I'm going to stop being a man for a minute. Don't make that face, Michael Cross. Les Miserables was the first live theater that made me shed a tear. only because I hadn't seen Phantom Live yet.
I thought you were going to say Sexual Awakening.
Well,
Les Miserables was my sexual awakening, yes.
the movie, I'm not a big fan of the movie version of Les Mis. I'm not a big person. My experience with Les Mis was I had just moved to Denver, and my mom sent me the cassette tape
Ooh.
to listen to. I'd never seen it for almost 20 years. I'd never seen it. My only version was on that cassette tape, listening to it. I had the entire thing set in my head. And yeah, I would cry every time I listened to that musical.
Yeah.
Every time. But the movie was so very disappointing.
Yeah, the movie is not.
Cavill is the Highlander? Oh, that'd be fabulous.
Oh, wait, is it happening?
Cool.
Reboot scheduled to.
True?
Oh.
Are you? No.
Well,
Henry
Michael
Cavill
Cross
is Connor
asked for money
McLeod?
next because what you want is there, delivered to you.
I would love to see Henry Cavill as
Yeah. I mean, he's got the
He
sword
already looks
chops
that way.
from
He already
Witcher.
looks like the Highlander in The Witcher. He's set.
Yeah. And so there we go.
But can he go, there can be only one? Can he pull that off? He doesn't need to. That I know that's.
And who would play the Kurgan, man?
Oh,
You got to get someone good.
He could still play the Kurgan.
Oh, yes, he could.
He could.
Yeah.
That big giant sword, he would be so slow moving, but it would still work.
oh,
I'm excited.
Jason Momoa as the Kurgan.
No,
No.
that's too obvious. It's too obvious.
I think they should just. I think they should just youth and
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown. Just do what they.
Put him in a time machine.
Yeah.
Yep. An undiscovered actor is a good idea from Jerem's.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe who it needs to be. Oh,
That's a good question. Who was Clancy Brown when Highlander came out? Had he been in other stuff before that?
He'd been in some other things.
I mean, I love him from Starship Troopers. God, I love Starship Troopers. If I'm ever flipping through the channels and Starship Troopers is on, I stop flipping. Would you like to know more? It's it's so great.
I loved that book, that opening scene
So
in the
different.
book where you got the guy in power armor jumping through the buildings. I could not wait for this movie. Oh my! I hated the movie.
See, I read the book after the movie, and it threw me off so much because I'm like, this is political propaganda.
Yeah. I was too young to pick up on how strong the political propaganda was.
Yeah.
I was just seeing. Basically, it was the Halo video game. Just do.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
That movie was so corny, and I love that it didn't take itself seriously. Neil Patrick Harris, I mean,
That is true.
it's a
What
free.
it was a great movie, but for what I was expecting, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't stand it. I
hate.
But it had Michael Ironside, which is
It's true, and he was in Scanners.
he was in Scanners.
I told you, I'm old and I remember stuff.
Y'all are gonna laugh. I still haven't seen Trimmers.
You haven't seen Tremors?
I know you guys are gonna kill me. Kiri's gonna kill me. And I love the crazy thing is I love Kevin Bacon. I rule at the Kevin Bacon game.
You guys just got to do a Kevin Bacon combo and go ahead and watch Beastmaster, and then watch Tremors, and then watch.
Kevin Bacon's not in
Kevin Bacon's not in Beastmaster.
Mark Singer is.
Mark
Singer. They're both blonde. It doesn't matter.
Kevin Bacon
and then
was in-
Lost Boys because he's in Lost Boys. Go with those three movies.
Kevin Bacon was not in Law. What the hell are you doing? Stop it,
Kevin
Brook.
Bacon was in National Lampoon's Animal House.
Kevin Bacon was in A Few Good Men.
Yes, he was.
Kevin Bacon's in Whitewater Summer. Kevin Bacon was in JFK. Do you remember?
Kevin Bacon as the Kurgan.
Kevin Bacon was my sexual awakening.
Oh no! Wait, that was just Bacon.
That was just Bacon. Oh my god!
And it's been 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon right here.
It's been 100 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Oh man, Kevin Bacon was in everything. Yeah, like cheeseburgers and Cobb salads and.
Doogie Howser is the only cool part of Starship Troopers, says Hal22. Oh, boys and girls, this was fun.
How you feeling, Michael?
I'm losing it. Okay.
Okay, let's go then. Michael's got to get up at 2 a.m. so he can go do some NPR stuff.
Woohoo!
You can always catch me at 5 o'clock in the morning, live at 5 on Gale Issue.
Hey, what's the weather going to be in the morning?
It is going to be nice tomorrow, mid 60s,
Right
mid
on.
60s tomorrow, and
You know
mid 40s for tomorrow morning.
I love the fact that you wait for me and you're still there for me at 7.
That's right. I'm still there. I'm there for whenever you turn me on. Oh, wait a minute, that sounded wrong.
Someone say it before I do.
It's my sexual.
There we go. Thank you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're calling it a night. I have been Johnny Payne. That's Michael Cross up there. We got Brook Bullock somewhere. Awakening. And we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.